Okay, in this video we will talk a bit more about the strings. So here's an example. So suppose I define a string as this variable fruit, and that's given as orange. So for example, we can actually access the elements of this string by our index. For example, if I print, let's say fruit, and if I want to access the first character in this string, I will use the index 0. So here we have O, right? Or we can try another one. Let's say if it is out of the bounds, right, you can see we will get an error. It is the index out of range error, as we can see, because the index 10 exceeds the length of this string. So how can we get the length of the string? So we can actually use the len function to get the length. So if we run this, we can see the length of this string is 6 characters basically. So we can access any element here. So for example, if we type index 5, that's going to be the last, right? Because we start from 0. And similarly, we can actually go through the elements of this. So we can see that if I run like this, so we can see that I can go over each character in my string in a for loop, okay? Or we can actually take some slice from our string. So if I want to, let's say, print, let's say, the first characters from 0 to 3. So we can remove this. Okay, so we can see that 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have 4 characters, right? Because it will exclude the index 4. So this will count from 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, it will not include 4. It will be up to this fourth element in our, it will be from starting from 0, so it will include all the 4 elements in our string. Okay, and there are some other useful, again, methods when we are working with strings. So for example, if we have a sentence, let's say I have a sequence of, again, characters, basically it's a string. Let's say I like orange, and if I put some spaces, right, I can see this is my sentence. And if I want to, let's say, remove the space characters, because I have some space here, and then at the end I have another space. If I want to remove the space, we can use the strip method, okay? And we can actually print that and see how the new actually string looks like. Okay, so here we can see, let me remove this. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put the parentheses here. Okay, here we go. So we can see that actually, if we compare these two things, with and without this strip operation, right? Oops, I need to put this here. Okay. So we can see previously we have these space characters, okay, at the beginning and at the end. And when we apply the strip method, actually we get rid of these space characters in our string. Okay, so this is one of the useful methods when we are working with the strings. Another one, let me show, is let's say if I want to find some characters, right? Find, we can use fruit.find. So this is a method of strings. And let's say you can find O, okay, and actually we can call this as the index, okay, and then I can print my index. Okay, so we can see the index for the first, whenever it encounters this character O, okay, the first time it encounters, it will actually assign this index. So the first time we get this O is here, so it's going to return us 0. So you can try another way. So if we put another O here at the end, right, and we can check this out. So you can see it still returns the first index location where we encounter this the character O, okay, although it repeats at the later part of the string. So it will return the first one. And actually you can also skip a certain number of characters. Let's say if we skip the first 3 elements, so and then I want to find the first time we encounter this O in our string, so we can click, and then you can see now it returns this us the last character O that we encounter. It index location 6, okay, because we want to skip the first 3, so the next O it encounters occurs in the 6th element in this string, okay. So this is how it works. You can always check other methods when you are working with strings. So these were just some simple examples, and you can continue to search more from the Python for Everybody website.